Hey, Jason here with ProCheck Home Inspections, and today I want to do a little bit of walking and talking. I did another video like this and I really liked it, but these are unscripted. I just kind of shoot from the hip, which is kind of fun. And I got a big family, so it's nice just to walk through nature away from it all and just talk about home inspections. But one thing I want to talk about today is for new home inspectors that are looking to learn the home inspection process. One thing that was recommended for me, well, first of all, as best you can, wherever you are at, try to get a mentor of some kind. That is going to be invaluable to your development. And that can be all sorts of different kind of mentors. I remember hearing somebody was talking about, that's why we read books. You know, one of the reasons you can read books is you can grab a mentor that you've never even met from any generation. You know, and so you can do that too with home inspections. I think it's best to try and find someone in person. You know, which can be difficult to do, but there are companies out there that once you become a home inspector, they'll hire you on, or you know, some firms have training programs and stuff like that. I'm a big fan of starting your own company. I think it's a good thing, but that might not be for everybody. But find somebody who can mentor you. That could be someone online. That could be me. If you want to reach out to me, you know, and you got ideas for videos, or you just want to talk on the phone or whatever, give me a call. You know, I would be more than happy to help people out. But finding a mentor helps in so many different ways, because, you know, there's so many different aspects to this job that you got to balance. You know, there's especially if you've never run a business before and you're looking to start a business, it's one of those things that, you know, you're dealing with networking. You know, if you've never networked before, that is something that is a hard thing to do. You know, just going to different events and you know, really selling yourself, that can be a little bit intimidating. And you know, trying to balance, you know, talking with the clients, talking with realtors, you know, and there's a lot of stuff that you need to know as a home inspector, and there's a lot of stuff that, you know, you're not going to know everything at first, but there's a way that you can answer. You know, that doesn't make the people think, wow, this guy has no idea what he's talking about. You know, a lot of times it's just knowing how to find the answer. You know, and all those different things, and having a mentor that can kind of get you ready for these types of situations. Just give words of encouragement, because, you know, especially if you're starting your own company, it starts slow. And so, you know, having those different types of things, being someone that you can bounce off, you know, pricing structure and who that you go through for insurance and all those different things. So getting a mentor when you first start out is really, really important, and they can kind of guide you through the process of how a home inspection business works. So that'd be the first thing I would say. If, as much as you can, try to find somebody that can be a mentor to you, or just go online and find some stuff. I know, you know, AHIT and InterNACHI and all that kind of stuff, they have a lot of good resources for sure. And there's a lot of good, you know, don't be afraid to reach out on community boards and talk to people, because there's a lot of questions. You know, I know one of the things that was hard for me the first time that I got an inspection was, okay, who do I call first, and how do I schedule this? You know what I mean? Like it was one of those things that it was like, which realtor do I call first? Whose time is more important? Is the client's time important? Is my time the most important? Is it the listing it? You know, and it's little things like that that somebody that's been in the business for a long time, they're like, oh, what's the big deal? You just make it happen, man. But for you, it's like, okay, what do I do? You know, it can be a very nerve-wracking situation. But if you have someone that you can reach out to and say, hey, talk me through this, it is such a big help. So, you know, getting a mentor is going to be huge. Secondly, I would absolutely, before you even do, now I would start marketing as soon as you get your license, pass the test and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I would get your Google page, get all those different things and all that stuff. But I would, now hopefully during training, you will have done some mock inspections. But what I would do, and what really, really helped me in order to start getting more, Google reviews and all that kind of stuff, is really reach out to friends and family. If you're in a church group, if you have a community group, if you got a golf league, whatever it is, ask if you can do a real inspection for free for their home. And it really, and treat it like a real inspection. Give them an actual real inspection. And you can test your process. You can test your, how you're going to deliver the report to them. You can test your electronic, if you're going to use electronic stuff, but you can test like how the communications go, how the automatic emails and all that kind of stuff, how that all works, and in a real-time way. And then you can get feedback. Ask for immediate feedback, and just say, and I would tell them right out of the gate, say, hey, I'm going to treat this as a real one, and I would really like your feedback on this, and then take that feedback and get better on the next one. And I would do 20 or 30 of these. My mentor that helped me gave me that exact same advice. And about 10 into it, I actually had my first job that I booked. And it was nerve-wracking because, like I said in the beginning, make sure that you're actually trying to get the business started. Don't wait on that. I would try to get it up as fast as you can, because things take time, especially SEO and how to get found and all those things. But having those 10 that I did helped me tremendously. Maybe you're not so good at speaking. Practice that. I am a big, firm believer that we can overcome anything that holds us back simply by getting the reps in. Anyone can become a good speaker just by practicing, right? So if maybe that's something that you're nervous about, get the reps in. Start doing that. Start practicing and delivering your summary pages to your friends and family. So that way, when you actually have to go to the and do the real thing, you're not fumbling all over your words. You're not sounding terrible, and you actually sound like you know what you're doing. Because that's the thing. You might actually know what you're doing. You're just not very good at speaking, and it comes across in a way that you don't know what you're talking about. So make sure that you're getting those reps in. Okay, make sure that you're practicing. And then the other thing that does for you to get those free, those free inspections, those practice inspections, is you get to work on your process. Because the more you get your process down, the more you memorize your checklist, and you get used to running your checklists and stuff like that, all that stuff becomes second nature. And then you're not thinking about, oh, did I make sure I checked this? Or do I make sure I did this? Like, no. You're actually freed up to attend to the clients, because I tell you right now, it is way better for the client to be there with you. And if you are not familiar with your checklist, if you are not familiar with your process or talking and stuff, it is going to be so nerve-wracking to have the client there and explain things. When you do, if you pass the test, most of the time you know what you're talking about, but you're going to be second guessing yourself. And then, the dad of the client is going to be there, and he's going to be challenging everything that you say, and if you don't have your process in, you're going to be fumbling, you're going to be nervous, you're going to be all that stuff. You might even be combative, and that's not good, So making sure that you practice, right? That is a huge thing that you're going to want to do. So I would take those two things right after you get your license, after you start, is make sure that you get a mentor, get somebody. And if there's a state group that you can join that group. I'm a part of the Wisconsin Association of Home Inspectors, and they have been wonderful for continuing education and bringing people in and learning about foundations and about mold and all about these different things. This is a career field that you need to constantly be learning, and it's just going to help you out. So do that in whatever way you can. And the second thing is make sure that you get 20 to 30 practice reps in. Give free inspections, treat them as real for your friends, for your family, for your church group, for your kids' little league team, anybody. And set it up that say, hey, I'm going to give you a free inspection. I'd like you to treat it as real, because I'm going to treat it as real, and I'd like some honest feedback at the end, and that'll really help you out. If you have any other ideas for things that helped you when you first started out, please share that in the comments down below. I always love to learn and what's helped other people out. Us as home inspectors helping each other out is what grows this career field, what makes us more professional, and it's going to bring more business to all of us. And if we treat each other like competition all the times, and let's be honest, sometimes we are, for sure, but the more professional and the more helping and the more we can grow this career field, the more that home inspections are going to become a bigger part than they already are of the real estate industry, and the pie will grow for all of us, you know. So let's all help each other out. So yeah, comment those things down below of the things that helped you when you first started. And if you like this content, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.